Hey guys, welcome back again to the Maths Club. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. So for some time now, we've been on a series of number base. We started with an introduction to number base. How do we convert? How do we add? How do we subtract? And now we are in how we multiply in number base. Basically base 10, base 3, base 5, and so on and so forth. Right, so if you're just joining us, you might want to check the playlist that will appear at the top right. That will take you to our list of videos that we've been doing in this series. So as always, whenever we enter a new concept in number base, we start with our fundamental base, which is base 10. Right, so let's get started. So how do we multiply in base 10? Let's see this example. 567 times 32. So I have 567 times 32, right, in base 10 and in base 10. So let's go. 2 times 7 is 14, right? So 14 is greater than our base, which is base 10. This is in line with where we've been solving addition, subtraction, and all of that before, right? So 14 is greater than base. Remember, we said when we encounter a number that is greater than or equal to our base, we divide it by that base, right? So if you divide this by this, you have 1 with a remainder of 4. As always, we drop the remainder 4 and we carry over the result, which is 1. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. Same thing, 13 divided by 10, right? So that will be 1 remainder 3. So I'll drop 3 and carry over 1. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. So 11 divided by 10, that is 1 remainder 1, right? So I'll drop 1 and carry over 1, right? Because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll just bring down this 1, right? The one I carried over. Great. Same thing too. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 is greater than 10. So that will be 21 divided by 10, right? Which is equal to 2 remainder 1, right? So I'm going to write 1 in this under the second part and carry over 2. Right, so let me just make this 2, right? 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. So 20 divided by 10, that is 2 remainder 0. So I'll drop the remainder and carry over the 2, right? 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. So 17 divided by 10, of course you should know that already. That will be 1 remainder what? Remainder 7. So I'll drop the 7 and carry over the 1, right? Because nothing else to multiply, I'll just bring that one I carried over down, right? This is in base 10 and this is also in base 10. So when I add, this will be 4. When I add this is 4. The reason I'm writing the 4 is because the value is not up to or greater than this 10, right? If it was up to or greater than this 10, I will have divided by 10 and dropped the remainder, carried over the results, like we did in this previous place. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 8 is 1. And I'll bring down this 1. So at the end of the day, our answer for this is 18,144. This is actually how we'll be multiplying in base 10. You might not have really noticed it, but this is how we'll be multiplying in base 10 all the way down. So 18,144. So let's do the next question, which is 650 times 535. So the question is 650 535, right? The same way we've been doing it. 0 times 5 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25, but we're in base 10. So if you divide 25 by 10, you're going to have 2, the remainder of 5, yes? So I drop the remainder and carry over the result, which is 2. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus 2 is 32. If I divide 32 by 10, what do I have? I'll have 3 remainder of 2. So I'll drop the 2 here and carry over the 3. But because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll just bring down 3, right? 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. If I divide 15 by 10, I'm going to have a remainder of 5 and the result of 1, right? Wait. So 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. 19 divided by 10, that is 1 remainder 9. So 9, I'll carry over the 1, right? So because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll just bring down the 1. Same thing goes here too. 5 times 0 is 0. So this is 25. So that will be 5. I'll carry over 2, right? 5 times 6 is 30, right? 30 plus that 2 is 32. So I'll drop the 2, carry over the 3, right? And because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll just bring down the 3, right? So let's add. This is 0, this is 5, this is 7, right? All these numbers are less than the base 10, so I don't need to bother myself. But this is 3 plus 9 is 12, 12 plus 5 is 17. So because something is greater than or equal to this base, I have to divide it by base 10, right? Which will be 1, remainder 7. So I'll drop the remainder, which is 7, carry over the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And then this 3. So our answer for this is 347, 750. Great. So the reason why I actually solve this base 10 is for us to really look at the concept of this division by 10 again, right? Division by 10 whenever it's necessary, right? Because that's the fundamental of what we're going to be building when we start multiplying in order bases. And that's what we're going to now. So let's see, multiplication in order bases other than base 10. So we have 10011 base 2 times 111. So let's solve that. 10011 multiplied by 111 in base 2. So 1 multiply all of this, that will give me 11001. Abi, 1 also multiply all of this, that will also be 11001. And 1 also multiply all of this, that will be 11001. Wait, so let's add. Remember, we're adding in base 2, so this was 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, so 2 is already equal to the base, so that will be 2 divided by 2, right? So it should be 1 remainder what? Remainder 0. So I'll drop the remainder 0 and carry over the 1. So 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 is greater than the base 2, so that will be 3 divided by 2, which will be 1 remainder 1. So I'll drop 1, carry over 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1, that will be 2, right? So I can use this one, so that will be 1 remainder 0. So I can drop the 0, carry over the 1. 1 plus 1 is also 2, so I can use this 0, carry over the 1. 1 plus 1 is also 2, so I can use this 0, carry over the 1. 1 plus 1 is also 2, so I can use this 0, carry over the 1. Because there's nothing else to work on, I'll just bring down this 1 here. So by the time you do that, simply you already know the answer is 1000101 in base 2. Let's see if our answer is correct. 4 zeros and 101. Great. We did very good, right? So you can see why this division is very important. Let's continue. So we have 242 times 14 base 5. So let's see. 242 in base 5 multiplied by 14 in base 5, right? 4 times 2 is 8. 8 is greater than this base, so I'll say 8 divided by 5, right? That will be 1 remainder 3, right? So I'll drop the 3, carry over the 1. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. That will be 3 remainder 2. So I'll drop 2 and carry over 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So 11 divided by 5, that's 2 with the remainder of 1. So I'll drop the 1 and carry over 2, right? Because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll just bring down the 2. Right, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2, right? So as always, I assume that we are solving along, right? That's the only way you can actually make it make sense. And you can pause the video whenever we enter a new question and solve it yourself, or you can solve along, right? And thank God you can always pause and play. It's not a live session. So let's add, right? So this will be 3, 2 plus 2 is 4, it's not up to 5, so I'm good. 1 plus 4 is now 5, right? Great. That will be 5 divided by 5. And that will be 1 with the remainder of what? The remainder of 0, right? So I'll drop the remainder, which is 0, carry over the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. So this also works. So I'll write 0 and carry over 1. And because there's nothing else to multiply, right, or add, I'll just bring this 1 down. So in base 5, when you multiply these two, our answer is going to be 10043. Let's see. Great. And this is our answer. That means we did very well. Great. We're actually moving very fast. Now let's move to the next question. This question says multiply 48 in base 12 by 15 in base 12. So let's see. So 48 in base 12 by 15 in base 12, right? 5 times 8 is 40. So by the time you divide 40 by 12, what would that give you? That will give you 3, right? Because 12 times 3 is 36, the remainder of what? Of 4. So I'm going to drop the 4 and carry over the 3. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. So 23 divided by 12, that's going to give you what? 1 with the remainder of 11, right? But remember, from our table of conversion, 11 is what number? I want us to know it offhand, right? So from our table of conversion, for numbers greater than 10, whenever I have a decimal 11, that's going to give me what? Great, because it's right. That is A. So A is 11. So I'm going to drop the A and carry over 1, right? Great. So because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll bring down the 1, right? So let's go to the next one. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4, right? So this is 4. 11 plus 8, because this is A, right? A is 11. 11 plus 8 is 19. 19 divided by 12, that is 1 with the remainder of what? The remainder of 7. So I'll drop 7 here and carry over 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Right, so by the time I multiply this 2 in base 12, I have 674 in base. The only thing that's really strange here is this A. But if you're following us before, you know that whenever we have a value 11, remainder of 11, we're going to use that chart that we used in previous videos, right? And there 11 is A, so I represent it as A. Whenever you're adding, you're going to be adding A plus 8. You're going to be adding the decimal representation of A, which is 11. That's why I said 11 plus 8 is 19. And divided by 19 by 12. So our answer is 672, which is correct. Now, let's solve one last question, right? Because most times all the values that we've been doing are in the same base. That's why we did the multiplication straight up, right? But when they're in different bases, what do? We convert to base 10, we multiply, then we'll divide our answer to whatever base they say we should work in. So once you actually pause the video, try to convert this value and this value to base 10 and multiply it. And when you multiply it, find the answer in base 4. Welcome back. Right, so let's solve it together. So this is 10011 in base 2. So if I convert it to base 10, right, that will be 1 times 2 plus 0 times 2 plus 0 times 2 plus 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2. And give the power of 0 from right to left. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 2 raised to the power 4 is 16. Plus, I told you, anytime you multiply by 0, you don't need to bother yourself. So this is plus 0 plus 1 times 3 raised to the power 1, that is 1 times 2, plus 1 times 2 raised to the power 0, that is 1 times 1. So 1 times 16 is 16, plus 0, 0, 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 times 1 is 1, right? So the summation of all of this is going to be 19. So in base 10, 10011 in base 2 is 19. Great. So the next number is 34. So 34 base 5. So that will be what? 3 times 5 raised to plus 4 times 5, right? So give it the power from 0 from right to left. So this will be 0, this will be 1. 3 times 5 raised to the power 1 is 5, plus 4 times 5 raised to the power 0 is 1, right? So 3 times 5 is 15, plus 4 times 1 is 4. By the time you add this, so this is going to be 19 in base 10. This is a coincidence, right? So this is 19 in base 10, this is 19 in base 10. So basically what we're going to just do is 19 squared, right? So let me solve it. Let me just solve it normally. So we have 19 in base 10, 19 in base 10, right? So 9 times 9 is 81. If I divide 81 by 10, I'm going to have 8 the remainder of 1, right? So I'll drop the remainder 1, carry over the 8. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 8, that is 17, right? That's 17. 17 divided by 10, that will be 1 with the remainder of 7. So let me drop the remainder and carry over the results, right? So because there's nothing else to multiply, I'll bring down the 1. 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times 1 is 1, so let's add plus. So this is 1. 7 plus 9 is 16, so 16 divided by 10, that is 1 with the remainder of what? Of 6, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, right? So 19 squared is 361 in base 10. Great. So we found the multiplication of these two. So the next thing that we're just going to do is to leave our answer in base what? In base 4, right? So this is 361 in base 4, right? So 36 divided by 4, that is 9. 1 divided by 4, that is 0, right? But what will be our remainder? Will be what? Our remainder will be 1, right? Will be 1. You can use a calculator. 90 times 4 is 360, so that will leave a remainder of 1. So 4. 9 in 4 is 2, right? If you carry 1 here, 10 divided by 4 is 2, with a remainder of what? With a remainder of 2. Great. So 22 times 4, that is 80. Yeah, so there will be a remainder of 2. So 4. 22 divided by 4, that is 5, right? With the remainder of what? The remainder of 2. 5 divided by 4, that is 1, with the remainder of 1. Then 1 divided by 4, that's 0, with the remainder of what? Of 1. So by the time I pick these values from bottom to top, that will give me 1 1 2 2 1 in base 4. So let's see if I correct 1 1 2 2 1 in base 4, right? So you see, and this is how we've been able to really solve all of these things, right? We've been able to solve all of these things. So if they're in the same base, do the normal multiplication, but if they're in different bases, convert to base 10, multiply, and then leave your answer in whatever base they say you should leave it in. Next time we'll be talking about divisions in different bases, right? So if you got this question correctly, well done to you. If you do not get it correctly, keep on practicing, right? So if you found this video useful, don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel so that you can be up to date with all of the information and the videos that will be churning out, right? And then if you have a question or you want to say something, don't forget to leave a comment for us under this video. See you in the next video.